This is an application video for Life Manager Database. It's called Organizing Your Life, is what it's going to do. Most people today have some digital method of doing your calendar and all the other kind of things you want to do, but they're spread across different devices. It makes it very difficult to use, or even on the same device, you might have 3, 5, 6 apps to try to do the same thing. What this app is designed to do is to put it all in one place, make it easier to use. It's actually a database, so it's a little bit more advanced than what you're going to see in the individual applications. It has a lot more flexibility, and there's a lot of interesting things that it can do. We're currently on the main screen, and this is a pop-up menu. In the pop-up menu, you have each one of these items. They're different screens, but I'm going to show you that they're simple to use because they're almost identical the way they're used. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first one, which is the family contacts data. Now typically you have contacts on your phone or your iPad or something like that, or your iPhone. But what really happens is that the data in there, you have to always search and push your finger on it and go down through, maybe go through an alpha character or go to your best friends and kind of stuff like that. Well, that doesn't really give you the information you're looking for a lot of times because it's not available. So what we've done in this application is to make it a broader sweep with more information and a lot more flexibility. For example, you can by tapping on this little square here, you can add a picture of each individual for your family contacts. In addition to that, if you want to see them a little larger, you can pop it up and it'll pop up the image. So this is the way you add it. Then you add the information for each person, and it has all kinds of things, like it has their address, their telephone number, their cell phone, their home phone, their office phone, their email, and notes that you can put additional information down here. In this case, I put in my Skype address, but if it were for somebody else, obviously it would have all that information for them. Now, I put test records in here so that you can add information, and that's what this is. When you get the application, all you have to do is either overwrite the data that's in here and or go over here and then, by the way, you can't enter anything in these are locked, but as you add information here, it also adds it over here automatically. And what that means is that if you want to look at a different record, you click on the show button and it goes to that record. And of course, this is a test record, so you can overwrite it. Or you can just delete the records at your choice. So deleting them doesn't hurt anything. You can do that if you want to. The navigation, as I said before, if you're going to leave this page and go to one of the other screens, you can just click on any one of these buttons and be anywhere in the application with one tap. The next thing is using this application, you have these do things for the do action menu, like add a new record. So each one of these screens that I just showed you over here has a add button, and you can add the information that's going to go in each one of these records. You can also do a find on any of the fields that are in this area, but you can't find on a portal over here because you can't even access the fields. What you do is you do a start a find, and it flips it over, and now what you would do is you put, say like in this case, the family member name. You could put it in. I'm just going to put, to show you, I don't even have to spell the whole name. And I can go over here and I can say perform the find, and it flips back, and there's the record you want to, and you notice it puts a little thing up on the screen. That little screen says that's how many records were actually found with that particular entry in it. Now you can put anything in any one of the fields. You can do a word or a phrase or a sentence even, looking for a specific thing in anywhere in all the records that are in here for these people, which are a part of your family. So that's typical of the whole application. You can use any of the fields, and you can navigate by using this area over here to move between the records. The more records you add, the more that are going to come over here. There's 22 showing, and if you want to go down, you just take your finger and you bring it up and look at whatever the next one is going to be. They're all in alphabetical order, so it's quite easy to find them. And then all you have to do is tap the show to see them. So over here, let's go back and finish what we're looking here. You can also navigate if you have records in selection that you picked through a find. You can say go to the next, go to the prior. You can omit records if you want to, so that you can say omit a set of records that you would like to have then show on the omitted records. And the way that works, you omit some, then you say show omitted, and then it's going to only show those that you omitted. It's kind of clever, but that's what it does. Then you can say show all records to bring them all back. If for some reason you cannot find records you're looking for, it's probably because you've done a find and don't recall doing it, and you need to say show all records to bring them all back again. On all the screens, you have the same exact things here. You can say print, it brings up a printer. If you have a Wi-Fi or a printer that you can transmit from your iDevice, you can go ahead and set the records that you want to do, and for in this case you can say the current record or the found set. The found set is if you found a set of records, that's where you would click here to print those records that are in the found set. Otherwise you just print the current record you're viewing. The next thing you want to do is pick the record size that you're going to print to, and you can do envelopes, tabloid, and you can even say more and add some if you need to. The next thing is the paper size. We've already done that. Orientation could be portrait or landscape. Depending on the screen, you may want to go landscape, and I'm going to tell you why, because you can do that with a PDF and you can print the entire screen or as much of it that will fit in on the PDF. And it'll give you a preview. So if I go PDF, I can say view it so I can see what it looks like, and it'll pop up, and that's what I'm going to be able to see, that much of the screen. So you can see that I'm getting basically the primary data on this if I wanted to send it as a PDF. In order to get back, basically all you do is click to go back and say, okay, I'm done, and you go back. And you saw that little thing up in the corner? That allows you to also do other things like email, send it on a message or whatever's appropriate for you, that you add in that little box that pops up, that now the iDevices now have those that you can use. Now let's go back in again. The next thing is we can export data. If you're on a screen and you want to export your family information to put it into, say for example, your email account where you're adding certain people, you can do that omit thing and pick a bunch of records that you want to send, or you can do a find based on whatever, a date range or anything you want to, or a city or zip code or whatever it makes sense to. You can even put a word in here, say Gmail, and have it search for all the ones that say Gmail and then send them, or just send all the Gmails from here. You got a choice. The next one is the export. The export's pretty straightforward. Whatever you're in as far as a record, it's going to bring it up, and you can go in and you can actually look at the records as far as that's concerned. You can pick how you want them to come out, comma separated, which is a CSV file, which a lot of products that use that as a CSV file for import. Database file, spreadsheet, HTML, merge files, which would be word processing kind of things, and tab separated for almost everything else like word processing. So you can export the data out. You can also send data in an email as far as part of the screen. So if I click on the email, and you can email something by saying, go ahead and export and say email, or you can save it into your drive. So you've got a choice of doing that as well. Let's go to the next thing. Developer support takes you directly to our main support site, where you can either chat with us, or if we're not available, you can leave an email, or you can leave the email address that you have that you want us to contact you back with. Video help is from the videos that you're watching right now. If you click on this, it takes you to YouTube, where you can run the videos that run this application for the tutorial. So let's try one next thing. On different screens, they might have some different things. Like this has a map, and what the map does, it takes the address that you put into the application as far as this screen is concerned, and then it's going to bring up that particular location for you. Now you do need Wi-Fi in order for this to work. So you will need some kind of Wi-Fi, or 3 or 4G or LTE. So we've done just about everything on this screen. Let's move to the next. We're going to go to the family data. We went to friends data. Now friends data I'm not going to take a lot of time with, because it's pretty much a duplicate of the family, only this time it's going to be friends. And there's Bill and his wife and some other people, but that's Bill. So for example, if I wanted to put Bill in there, then I would have, in this case, again, it says friend test and test. You can just overwrite these or delete these and then continue on. Okay, let's go to, this one also has a map. And whatever address you would have in your map, that's where it would take you. In this particular case, it shows here in Sedona, Arizona, where we're at, that's where we're going to be right now. And by the way, in these maps, if you just pull over from the side, you'll see that you can sign in and get more features and functions when you're running this particular thing. Plus, you can get bicycle trails, for example, if you want to see what the traffic looks like, and do the settings, and you can create and save maps, but you have to be logged in, so you're going to have to do the sign in. To get rid of it, just click back on the screen to get off of any of these buttons that are popovers, just click here and the popover goes away. Let's go to the next screen. The next one is household reminders. Now you go, what is a household reminder? My goodness, what would that be? Well, how about anything that has to do with if you have children, where they have to be somewhere at a certain time, they got to go to the doctor, they got to go do whatever they're going to do. You want to be able to set up household reminders for yourself. These are things that you have to do that are related to reminders. Now, we've had reminders that we have calendars and all that kind of stuff that we're working with reminders. But what happens is if you're not there to hear it chime or toot or do whatever it is that it's going to do to remind you, then you're not going to know that you have a reminder and it's going to pass it right on by. They give you like a half-hour notice and maybe 30 minutes before that for an hour where you're going to get notified. But in here, you can look through and you can see all the reminders you've got. Like we're going to do a kitchen remodel. You can say, show that record. Well, this is a reminder that Jeff needs to be able to be at work with the estimator on this particular day at 12 p.m. And it's at Wendy and Jeff's house. And Jeff has to be there to help. So, and then you can put whatever notes you want down here. So this is just a typical thing. Maybe it's going to be something where you're going to either have people come over for dinner and you want reminders about some of the things about it or what they said they'd like to have for dinner or whatever. You can put all that in your reminders. So let's go to the next screen. This is events. Now these are a little different. These would be outside the home. Pretty much the household reminders are household for around the home and things that need to be done that you're going to have to carry somebody somewhere. Well, events could be things like parties, weddings, get-togethers, church get-togethers or whatever. And what's nice about that is you can look at it anytime you need to, and you can tell whether or not these are events that you have to be at, that you have to jot down. Now, they could be also things like parties, but they can also be things like doctor's appointments or whatever. So you can ad lib. This gives you the ability to put it in and then actually read what it says. Like there's a white sale at Penny's and you want to go to that. So what day is it? Where's it at? And it tells you that. And bring your 20% off coupon that they're going to give you. And obviously you can get those things in the mail where they tell you, like get Bed Bath & Beyond, where they send you a 20% coupon. Well, Penny's is always having something, especially if you're on their email list. So it might be a reminder that you want to be at the only white sale they're going to have all year. So you want to go there. Okay, let's go to the next thing, and we're going to go to accounts to be paid. Now this is very nice for organizing all your bills, how they're paid, when they're paid, and if there's things where you physically have to go somewhere and pay a bill, or you have to send a check or whatever. This is a running log. Every time you create a new record, you're adding a record here, you're adding another event on this screen. So that's another kind of a thing for a bill pay or something that only is paid periodically. You can go ahead and create it, put down it's almost like a memo to be paid as far as when it's supposed to be paid. So it's going to help you quite a bit because it says account paid for, and it has the date that it needs to be paid. So, and it tells you where it's going to be paid and what's it for, and actually what you paid. So you have all that is also a record. You can go through here and see all those bills, when they're paid and what you paid. Okay, let's go to the next place, and we've already gone down through accounts that paid. Let's go to service data. Now this is where your vehicles, and you're scheduling your vehicles in for oil changes and services, unscheduled and scheduled. And maybe you got it body work that has to be done because somebody dented your car and you want to get that repaired. Well, this is all about vehicles. It could be your RV, it could be anything. It could be every vehicle in the family. And what it does here, you just have to put it in there, who it is, what it is, oil change or whatever, what date, what time. And then you show that record and get all the information for it and then put notes in. And the next time that we're supposed to bring it in is when it has 28,000 miles on it. Then I'm going to go in and bring that in. By the way, I'll just mention it while we're going through here. This text doesn't look very good on this screen because I'm running this on the desktop at a reduced view. So it's going to crunch the text up a little bit. Sorry for that, but in order to get this done with a cursor and be able to walk through it, and so you can see the cursor, that's what I have to do. So let's go to product support. If you have things that have a warranty on them, and it could be any household item, your car or whatever, something in your car, something that you use all the time, or a watch, for example, something you have on you, or a radio, and it has a warranty or something, well, this is where support comes in. For example, we had quite a bit of problems with our Whirlpool washer, and so that came to mind, and we scheduled or unscheduled things, and you have a pop-up here where you can see the scroll through, where it has some pick choices that you can do as far as what you want to use. And there are a lot of drop downs in here. For example, the dates pop up, which is nice. And it saves you time. Where it makes sense, we're putting in things that are pop-ups to help you. Obviously, I would not do a website because I would not know what I'm going to put in there, so that's something you'd have to put in. Support phone, products being covered. In this case, the product warranty expires, and the person you contacted when you called about the warranty, and maybe you get an email as well for them so that you have an email address to answer back. And then you have the support outcome. What happened during this process? Well, here's the list of things that might be things that could happen as far as things that would be taken care of in a warranty type of a situation. And of course, you can keep notes, and you can have an infinite number of information here. You may have to call back or go back several times, and you can go back and refer to your notes at the last time you had an appointment. The refrigerator we had, over a 6-month period, we had 9 visits before they called it a lemon and took it away and brought us a new one. So it's easy to say that you might have a lot of information in here that's related to warranty. Okay, so let's go down, and we did the product. Let's go to items purchased. These are things that you want to track when you buy them, what you paid for when you bought them. This is inevitably always an issue. Somebody either loses the invoice or whatever, or they don't remember how they charged it or where they bought it. This gives you all that kind of information where you bought things, and if you have to take them back, or if you have an issue with it, where you either have a warranty on it, you can pop back to warranty and also pop over here to see items purchased, where you bought it, what day you bought it, is it on sale or whatever. You have all that information. You can put that in addition into the notes right here so that you have all the information that's required to follow up on that. And of course, you can put in there like Sears. In this case, I could put Sears mattress cover if I wanted to, and I could show that record to see what it actually was that I bought there, and so forth. And this, of course, is the test record that we were looking at. So let's go ahead and pop to the next thing. This is login information. How many apps have we taken out of existence by just having this one that does everything? This would be the type of thing that you're actually going to be working with and what it is as far as what type of login. This is the login item name, for example, and you're looking at the password and username that you have in there. And you have an alternate password and username, and then you have the last date you changed your password, and then any information that would support that information for that password and that username that you're using. And of course, over here I can see this is for Plex Movies, that's username and password, but you can put anything in there you want to, as many different things as you want. In this case, the login, so you can tell which item it was that you're logging in as far as the item itself. And that way it makes it easy to find which one you're looking for. I have up to the time I wrote this app, I had 7 different things that I would be tracking in order to find information in different places. This saves it all in one place. Favorite websites. Now this is really cool. I wrote an application called Website Manager. And what Website Manager did, it did the single one thing. It found all your favorite websites and it listed them. And this is like a library for all the websites that you want to keep in here that you don't want to have to even think about, and you want to go find them. And when you want to find them, guess what? Just click this guy right here and watch what happens. It comes right up in here. You can have Google if that's what you want to put in there, or you can have many other ones like, let's go to Amazon. And it says, permanently delete this entire record. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I hit the wrong button. You got to be careful of that. You don't hit delete, but it gives you a warning so you wouldn't do it. So let's go over here, and now I'm on Amazon site. You might have noticed that these pop up faster than your actual web browser does. How does it do that? Well, it's just part of the nice thing about how fast this application runs. So you can actually go in here and you can navigate just like if you were on this website. And you can go in and click and go any place you want to and do all the things you would normally do on a website just by tracking through this. So it's like a live website that you're on. Clicking anywhere off of it will hide it. Let's go back here, and the last thing we're going to look at is TV, movies, and whatever. This is an entertainment thing where you're sitting on the couch, and I'm sitting on the couch, and my wife asked me, what station is that action adventure called Blacklist on? She says, I want to know what date so I can watch that, and what time is it on, and what is it on Netflix, or where is it? Well, it may be on one or more of those. So what you can do is you can just say, show that record, and you'll see that it is on Channel 12 at 9 p.m. on NBC on Saturdays. And this is the Blacklist website. If I want to go see it on the website, I can say view the website. And voila, it's actually going to that field on that website, and it's allowing me to go ahead and bring that information up and actually read through that information on that website that I put in this field. So it has the ability to do that. Plus, there's little fillers in here that say things that could be put in this particular field area. In this case, because it's a TV show rather than a movie, then I put that in. It could be a DVD or an online video or something other that I can put in here. And then it says, is it at a theater? Well, which theater is it at? What's the showing time? What's the last date that we can go see it? Like everybody was going to see Star Wars and they want to know when the last day was so they can get there. What a ticket's going to cost? Well, it pops up a little numeric keyboard so you can put in the date, and then you can rate it yourself. Guess what? You got poor, good, better, and best. Those are straightforward, simple ways to put in something that how you feel about the movie, and then you can always put in there what you feel in detail. In this case, this is James Spader, who's one of my favorite actors. The guy is really incredible. So I wanted to put some notes in there and tell people about that particular thing. Now, you've seen how this application functions. Do you think this can replace about 5, 6, 7 of your applications you're currently using and be able to provide better information faster? If so, I would say buy it. Thank you.